So now we're going to answer some asked questions that we got on TikTok and some kind of frequently asked questions that I hear a lot whenever I talk to people about tattoos. So we kind of answered the first one here. Shut up, me. So the first one was, what's the history behind your tattoos, or did you get them because they look cool? And that was from High 569. And, you know, we went over the history of our tattoos. Personally, I got all mine because they have different meanings to me. Nikki, you told me that, like, yours basically just stuff you like because they're cool, right?
Pretty much.
And me personally, like, I don't discriminate against people that get things just because, oh, I like this. Because, you know, that's something that's passionate to them, whether it has a deeper meaning or not. But in my personal opinion, it just depends on the person. If you want to get stuff that has meaning behind the tattoo, cool. If you know, get the tattoo just because it's a cool design, that's fine too. So, like, it's your body. Do what you want. So this question was actually asked by you.
Yeah, you came up on my TikTok.
I mean, fair.
You asked for
All right,
questions.
So your question for me was, what's my favorite tattoo and why? God, it's actually hard. I really don't have a favorite. It's weird because each of them kind of tell their own story. They have their own meaning behind them. So it's really hard for me to technically pick a favorite. I legit, I wish I had a better answer than that, but just
which one do you like the most? Like, what is it?
I really don't know, because, like, I really love all of them as the same. It's kind of like asking, you know, a parent who's their favorite child. You know, it's hard to pick which an actual favorite one is.
This was my mom. She'd answer me.
But and I'm sorry that sounds like a cop-out answer, but literally just because where my tattoos have such, like, meaning behind them and everything, it's really hard for me to pick a favorite, basically because I feel like each tattoo kind of holds a place of my history, if that makes sense.
And that's where we differ. Hog is my favorite. Look at this thing. This thing looks awesome. It looks even better in person. Don't get me wrong. Dragonite's great. My Legend of Zelda tattoo is great. But it's a fucking dragon. I love dragons.
Okay, so switching gears just a little bit, one of the more frequently asked questions that I get asked, and I'm sure you've probably gotten asked before, is, does it hurt? That's one of the most common questions we always get asked, and I'm going to give you one basic answer that's only 2 words. Fuck yes, it hurts.
It's a needle going into your skin, or multiple needles, depending on if what needle your artist is using.
Now, with that being said, though, there are different pain tolerances on different areas of the body, depending on trying to get a little, whether your body is, you know, born male or female is the best way I can kind of say that. So here is female, and you can see the different areas where it's a little more red is where the more tender areas are going to be. So that's going to hurt worse rather than, you know, the kind of other colored areas. And as far as the male goes, as you can see, compared to the female anatomy, there are different areas that are more red than the others.
Here's both of them beside of each other, too.
So here's a comparison.
Look at both of them.
So depending on whether you're biologically male or female will determine where your stronger pain tolerance areas are going to be. Now, that being said, though, that still may differ between person to person. So that's definitely something that, whenever you find a tattoo artist in a tattoo shop, you want to sit down and talk to them about it and see what they think, maybe do a test run or something in case you're a little bit nervous, because most tattoo artists will do that. They'll do a test run with you.
Especially if you have, like, any concerns whatsoever, like if it is a really painful area, like for instance the knee or something, there is numbing cream that you can get. Like, you can usually buy it at the tattoo shops, and you can put it on before your tattoo, and it will numb you before you even get the tattoo. But there is also numbing cream that most artists can provide to you. Like, it differs by shop. Talk to your artist. Mm-hmm. Which, after a while, it has to go in an open wound. So you have to be tattooed first before it can go on.
Which actually kind of leads me to another frequently asked question, is where do I go to find an artist or a tattoo shop? So Here's the biggest piece of advice that I have. Do your research. Look up different tattoo artists around your area or close to you if you want to go nearby. Check their art styles. A lot of tattoo artists nowadays have like an Instagram, Facebook page that posts a lot of their art. So determining on their art style and just kind of, I guess the best way, I wouldn't necessarily say friendliness, but like I guess openness about tattoo designs and stuff. Just kind of talk about like what you're wanting and how comfortable you are with that person as far as the tattoo artist goes. But
have an idea in mind of
yeah,
kind of what
definitely.
You want. So if you want something like, you know, mine and how like they are anime like, for instance, you might want to go find a tattoo artist that specializes in this.
Well, yeah, like Rob.
Want to go, yeah, like Rob. You don't want to go to like a pure black and white fine line artist and be like, hey, can you do this tattoo? If it's like an anime eccentric tattoo.
Because certain tattoo artists have different styles. Some people will, you know, specialize in anime tattoos. Some people specialize in black and white portrait tattoos that are more realistic. So, like I said, the main 3 words I can basically say that are the best to describe it: do your research.
Yeah, like some people, like the owner of Never Enough Tattoos, where Rob is, Michael, he can do like, Michael's a god at tattooing.
Yeah, Michael's great.
Michael can do so much, but he actually really specializes in traditional.
Right, exactly.
But he can do a lot.
So make sure to, you know, look at the tattoo artist, look through their art gallery, and see if it fits your style of what type of tattoo that you want.
And don't be afraid to talk to the artist. Like,
yeah, communication is key.
Talk to the artist. Even if after you've gotten your first tattoo and you want to get another tattoo, talk to your artist. Talk to the artist. Find another artist. Talk to the artist. Talk. Use words.
Yeah, Nikki.
Oh, shut up.
So our next question from TikTok comes from Captain Moon 420. What's up, dude?
Who's this guy?
I'm kidding. I don't know, some dude loser that likes to play with lightsabers. I don't know.
Let us know when you're coming to visit. Your bedroom's ready.
Love you, bro. So he asked, what is the longest you've sat in the chair? And that's for both of us.
Okay, I'm going to tie this back to those pain tolerance charts.
All right, so I'm going to let you go first because you have sat in the chair way longer than I have.
Okay, let's see. Yang, I'm going to talk per tattoo.
No, that's not the question. The question is, what's the longest you've sat?
Okay, I'm going to say 8 hours then.
Okay.
I think that was, Dragonite and Haku were both about the same length. We kind of went over shop time. Like, the shop closed at, did they close at 7 or 8? I don't remember.
I forget.
But we always were going over shop time. So, yeah, about 8 hours. Like, 7, 8 hours for both of them. Like, each. Not together. Like, this was like 8 hours and Haku was like 8 hours.
I think the longest I've sat in the chair, I think, was 2 to 3 hours. And I think, because I can't remember, because I know that this one took about 2 to 3 hours, and I know this one took about the same. This one only took about 2 hours.
2 hours for both of them.
So, probably about 2 hours is probably the longest that I've done that. This only took about an hour. The guy that I originally got this tattoo from, back when I was living in West Virginia, his name was Sean. Unfortunately, he passed away. Excuse me. I'm lucky enough, you know, to have his artwork done on me, and that was one of the best ones that I got, was him doing the crow symbol. And actually, this goes into a little superstition not a lot of people know about tattoos, especially when you're getting animal tattoos, is there is a superstition amongst some tattoo artists that you always have the animal facing towards you because you have that animal's spirit and guidance helping you out. And if you have the animal facing away from you, that animal is turning its back on you. That's just a superstition that I've heard that Sean used to do, so it's something I kind of stick with too.
The funny thing is, all of mine that technically involve like an animal, like the wolf is facing, well, he's facing outward, but like,
well, still forward, so it still kind of counts.
Dragonite's inward towards me, and Haku is also in towards me.
Mm-hmm. Funny enough, Rob did not know that, and I taught him that. So I'm trying to think if there's any other frequently asked questions.
So I can go back to tying in the pain tolerance to the tattoos, where these two that are, you know, the 8-hour tattoos, this one was like 5 hours, I think.
4 or 5 or something like that.
I think this was like 5. Yang was like an hour and a half, and the snake was literally 5 minutes. I'm not kidding, 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a Friday the 13th tattoo, they gotta go through them quick. Anyway, time back to this chart, wherever the hell we put it, probably over Seth's face again. So, if you look at this based on women, so it says the least amount of pain you're going to have is pretty much everywhere I have my tattoos. I have Yang on my thigh, which is blue on this chart. I have both of these boys on my shoulders. Well, you know, bicep.
Yeah, bicep.
Bicep. So the most painful part.
Upper arm is what I say.
Once you hit the shoulder area, I wanted to freaking die when he was doing this part. I got the numbing cream from like here up because it was terrible. And then like towards the inside of the arms here, they're very sensitive areas. As shown on the chart, it's like the orange area for all of this right here. It hurts. It like you can definitely feel the needle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then like on this one, it wasn't that bad until you got in towards this center area. And then for Haku, it wasn't even that painful, like at all. I could have sat there all day while I did Haku, which that's another blue area, but it has like some orange around.
Didn't
where
you have
Haku
to take a
too.
break though because your muscle was
My
automatically
muscle was
spasming?
just automatically spasming and reacting to the needle. I was doing nothing. I was chilling. I was watching YouTube videos. My leg was just like... And Rob literally put the numbing cream on me just so my leg would stop spasming.
So we're going to wrap up this video with the last frequently asked question, and probably one of the more important ones in my opinion, is how do you take care of your tattoos after you get them? Number one thing, listen to your artist, especially with all the different guidelines and everything, and follow them to the T. If they say, you know, depending on, because I've seen people do saran wrap as far as covering them. I've seen people doing just regular, I don't know, I guess plastic wrap or something like with...
yeah, it's just like plastic wrap and saran wrap.
Yeah, so that, you know, depending on...
It depends on the artist.
It depends on the artist. They have different methods, but make sure that you follow their guides to the T, because it'll keep your tattoo lasting, not scabbing as much or anything, no irritation and stuff. Now, depending on skin type and everything, this may vary, so just kind of watch it as far as like your skin and everything. Follow their guidelines. If they say to keep the saran wrap on for a week, keep that on for a week.
No, you
just
don't
trust
keep
me.
saran wrap on for a week, trust me. So if you have a tattoo artist that gives you basically a second skin bandage, Sanaderm, Derm Armor, there's multiple types. Rob does it for us. He gives us Sanaderm. We bought our own roll of Sanaderm just because of, you know, you have to change it.
Yeah, because after you get your tattoo, apologies to anybody that's a little squeamish, your tattoo will start to bleed, you know, about an hour after, you know, within the hour after you get that needle actually injected and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's an open wound, and like your skin will form most likely ink under the Sanaderm. If you don't form ink, then God, you're lucky. What is going on with you?
Mine's just mostly blood.
No,
was mine.
yours was ink.
Was it
too.
ink?
It
Okay.
was ink. Like there's usually a little bit of blood, but it's mostly ink, and it forms what is called an ink sac under your protective layer if you have Sanaderm or Derm Armor or whatever on. And those look something like this. You can poke them, the ink will move around. If you have an ink sac, you are still leaving that first piece of Sanaderm or Derm Armor or whatever on, usually a day, usually a full day is what it is. And then after the first full day, you can take it off, you clean it with an antibacterial soap.
Yeah,
Nice
make sure it's
antibacterial.
not scented or anything like
No
that. Just
scentsy.
pure antibacterial.
Yeah, just clean it nice and neat. And then usually if you are using Sanaderm, Derm Armor, your artist will likely give you another piece. If they don't, I highly advise investing in Derm Armor or Sanaderm. Hi, Sin.
You can easily get it on Amazon.com, which we'll leave a link in the description below.
I actually ordered it off Sanaderm's website.
Okay.
We'll leave a link to that in the description below too.
Stop it! Almost clawed my nuts.
But yeah, Rob's advice to us is he gives us Sanaderm or Derm Armor, which of course, that is adhesive. It is medical adhesive. If you're worried about whether you're allergic to medical adhesive or not, which I actually am, I can still wear Sanaderm and Derm Armor, etc. Derm Armor I'm really allergic to, so we don't use that on me anymore. We just use Sanaderm. But
So,
I
yeah.
take it off sooner than what is recommended by my artist, just because I am allergic.
Yeah, that's something you definitely want to discuss with your tattoo artist if you're allergic to any sort of adhesive, so that way they can either attune or give suggestions on other
tell you
wrappings.
some other way to take
Right,
care
exactly.
of it. Like if you're 100% allergic, you know you're gonna break out. Like unlike me, I break out like after a while. If you stick a teeny tiny piece of Sanaderm armor on your arm and you're reacting and rashing, your skin is pink, talk to your artist. They will have another plan for you. Likely you will just walk out in the plastic wrap instead of a piece of derm armor or something in medical adhesive, and they will give you instructions on how to take care of your tattoo from there. It depends on the artist, like what the recommendations are.
Now, after your bandaging period, what you want to do is make sure not to submerge the tattoo in any sort of water or anything like that. Whenever you're bathing or showering, try your best to kind of keep it away from the water and not have it completely submerged. But what you want to do is very lightly take a wash rag and very lightly dab the area and use the antibacterial soap and clean it still, but make sure it's not getting fully submerged in water. And to keep it moisturized, what I highly recommend personally is non-scented cocoa butter. It's always worked for me, but there are other skin hydration lotions, as long as they're not scented or anything like that or have anything special in them. Usually those work.
We currently use a non-scented healing cocoa butter lotion for the second phases, and we'll leave a link to that in the description too if you want to.
Yeah. And then to keep your tattoos vibrant and make sure the colors don't fade, we recommend using, what is it called? Tattoo goo.
It's lotion as well.
Yeah, it keeps your tattoos vibrant. It keeps the color in very well. Excuse me. So we'll leave a link to the description. So we'll leave a link to that in the description as well. The last thing I can also think of as far as aftercare is, if you are a fan of swimming, you cannot go swimming or submerge the tattoo, or at least
Like,
submerge the
showers
tattoo.
are fine. You can take a shower and you can have water run over your tattoo. That's not gonna hurt it.
Yeah.
Just don't go dunking it in a swimming pool before your tattoo is healed. With your artist. If you're questioning how long you should keep it out of water, ask your artist.
Yeah, because sometimes depending on the size of the tattoo, the coloration of the tattoo, it could go from anywhere, I've heard, from like a month to 2 months.
Yeah, so like for instance, his black tattoos on his arm, those heal a lot faster than these.
Yeah. So, like I said, it just depends on the coloration, the size, the shading, all that kind of
And
stuff.
the person. Overall, the recommended time is usually about a month or so, but once again, ask your artist.
That's the biggest.
Don't listen to us.
Yeah, these
Even
are
though
just
we can
our
offer
experiences.
advice, and this is our experiences. Ask your own personal artist.
Yeah, but guys, thank you for watching. I just thought this would be a really cool video to do. Thank you for watching both parts of this and everything. And we will catch you guys next time and give you tattoo updates whenever we get new tattoos, because this certainly isn't going to be the last of them. He's going to stare off into space.
Yeah. Where's the cat?
Are you seriously getting the cat?
Yes. She wants to say bye.
But Rare wasn't on here last time.
Okay, put her in.